So can I talk more about the connection thing?
Yes. Absolutely.
So because this is something a drum I was beating before the pandemic, because I was putting my finger on the pulse of some research that has to do with loneliness. And I found the first study ever a few years ago, where they actually, there's a thing called the UCLA loneliness scale, where they actually use this scale to measure loneliness in a primary care, your family doctor's offices kind of thing. Huh. And they found that 20% of people who came into their offices were significantly lonely, like not just, I wish I knew more people, but like lonely, like that ache, Hank Williams Sr., I'm so lonesome I can cry, that kind of lonely. So that has been like on my radar. And so I had a lot of reasons to be really concerned when the pandemic hit, because I thought, okay, that's going to make it even much more worser. But anyway, and I was looking at some other stuff, and like, for example, a nationally representative survey showed, this is before the pandemic, 13% of folks said that they had 0 people who knew them well. 0 people who knew them well. Can you imagine going through life and having no one that you feel knows you well,
right?
Who knows the contours of your heart, who knows the contents of your mind, who gives a shit about you? I mean, because if you don't know anybody well, of course they don't care about you, right? So that's the subtext there. But 13%, and that's a goodly percent, right, of folks who I feel like nobody knows me well.
Yeah.
I mean, that's got to be what I would think of as a living hell. I mean, really going through life with completely adrift and not feeling like anybody not just knows you, but if they don't know you, they can't have your back. They can't be there for you in hard times. They can't be there to be your listening post, etc. So there's a lot of stuff. And by the way, when you look at the other, I said I had my finger on the pulse of this research. There's these studies that show from a health standpoint. Let me back up a little bit. There was a study some years ago that talked about sitting is the new smoking, meaning a sedentary. I have a song about this, by the way. Sitting is the new smoking. Yeah. So nice. It basically talks about how the negative health effects of a sedentary lifestyle.
Yes.
Well, there's a new smoking, which is loneliness. And so I've been saying loneliness is the new smoking, because they've shown that the health effects of being lonely, significantly lonely, like I said in that study, is like smoking, I forget, 20 cigarettes a day, something like that, in terms of the negative health effects.
Wow.
So there's actually significant negative health effects of being lonely. And we think about, how could that be? That sounds like voodoo. How do you know? But you think about what it is, and we are herd animals. I mean, by definition, human beings are built for connection. It's an unnatural state to be disconnected from other people, and it sort of the safety of the herd, if you will. If you don't feel like there's I hear the word tribe a lot. Your tribe, your herd, your people. If you don't feel like you have them, it causes significant stress. The very thing that I was talking to 19-year-old Dan about, the general adaptation syndrome. You feel like you're part of and could be attacked at any moment by something that is overwhelming to you as an individual, but yet is manageable if you're part of a herd, if you're part of a pack, if you're part of a group, even a dyad of 2 people. So all that to say, we really should be concerned about. And by the way, also you look back at heartbreakingly, New England Journal of Medicine study that came out right after Sandy Hook, 10 more years ago now, and now we're Groundhog Day all over again. We're seeing these babies die, and the psychological profile. It's not mental illness, as I was saying before. It's not about that. It's about disaffected, disconnected, alienated, angry, mostly white guys. There's a toxicity there that we have to get our hands around, our arms around, and figure out how to fix that, or we're going to continue to have these awful, horrific events like we've just seen. So anyway, the human connection is the medicine for that cures. It's not a panacea, but it's damn close.
Right.
It fixes so many things that alprazolam can't, that sertraline can't, that all those polysyllabic, sorry, Jody, polypharmacy words can't fix. Yeah. Human connection, it's nourishment. We need it like we need to breathe.
I 100% agree with that.
Tune in live every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central
on the Unsung Screamers Facebook page, YouTube channel, and Twitter.
And check out our Unsung Screamers podcast
wherever you get your podcasts.